Hello and welcome to BryzGarage. So today we are going to do a reverse flush on this heater core here. This is a 1982 Ford F-250. I currently don't have an issue with the heater in this vehicle, but if you're getting low to no heat in your vehicle, it may be this heater core. It's one of the causes. There's several, but this could be one of them. One way to tell is if you have a temperature gun, that's ideal, but after you've ran your truck for a while and it's somewhat cooled down but still pretty hot, you want to grab both of these hoses, and if one is significantly hotter than the other, you may have a plugged heater core. So the heater core in this truck is located on your passenger side next to your blower motor. So there is your heater core. And so it basically has two nipples that come out and go into your radiator. Fortunately with this truck, it has long enough hoses to where you could use these to flush your vehicle. You could just disconnect them here and drape one over the side, one hose over the side and one into a bucket, and then flush your other hose. The tools you'll need is you'll need a regular garden hose with a shutoff valve and a 5/8 spigot. Then you'll also need a ratchet with a 10mm socket. You may have different connectors than I do. Some people have different clamps or whatnot, but this is what I have, is a 10mm socket, or you could use a large flathead screwdriver. You'll need a funnel, a 5/8 funnel. You'll need hoses if you plan to replace them. I am, because hardly anything's been replaced in this truck. This is a 5/8 inner diameter hose, and we have two of them. So we're going to replace those while we're doing it. Again, you can use those hoses to flush it, but I'm going to replace them, so I'm just going to put the new hoses on. You'll need some antifreeze. Make sure that you use the proper antifreeze specific to your vehicle. And you'll need a bucket for used antifreeze. Please make sure to recycle your used antifreeze properly. A lot of the local places will take them. At least that's the way it is in Utah. So we're going to begin. First thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect these hoses right here. And then I'll let you know what we're going to do next. Okay, so before we begin this task, we want to make sure we have our proper safety equipment on and follow all the safety procedures. We want to make sure that we have our gloves on and safety glasses for splashback. You definitely don't want to go blind just because you wanted to clean out your heater core. So again, we're going to remove these little deals here. Take those hoses off, and I'll tell you what's next. Okay, so we got off the first hose, and it looked not so good. It looked like there was a bunch of crap in there. So this heater core, I'm telling you, man, it needed to be done. I can't even believe it was getting heat. I mean, it looked dark. So I just barely loosened this, so I wanted to show you what's gonna happen when you take this little clamp off. I put a bucket under here, so you want to catch whatever you can. So we're gonna pop this hose off, and it may do like what the last one did, and that's kind of just start pouring out of there. So we'll see. And that's what I'm talking about. One thing I noticed when I did this, I had a whoever had done the previous previous radiator flush or put radiator fluid. It looks like they mixed orange in it, and it's supposed to be green antifreeze. So again, you want to make sure you have the right antifreeze in it before doing this, or make sure you go get the right stuff. Check the specs, check your owner's manual. Just make sure you have the right stuff. So it's starting to slow down. So I'm also, after I do this heater core flush, reverse flush. I'm gonna do a radiator flush as well. That's just nasty as hell. So anyway, so those are done. So now we're gonna remove these two hoses. I was gonna just do the flush with these hoses just to show you how you would do it without putting on my new hoses. However, in this case, I'm putting on the new hoses. I just want to make sure all this crap's clean before I spray water in there and try to flush this bad boy out. So I'm going to take off those two clamps there and hook up my new ones. Okay, so now I've got the hoses basically off. I put them back on just for sake of video, but before, again, I'm going to change my hoses, but before I go to take these off, I want to make sure I at least mark one of them so I know the right outlet or inlet hose, whatever it is, that goes to that outlet or inlet hose. So what I did is I put a gold mark. You can see that one has it, that one doesn't. Over here, I put it down there, if you can see it, gold, and this one doesn't. So that way I can know, I can take off my hoses and be sure they get it back on the proper way with the new hoses. So I'm going to take these off again, and I'm going to hook the new hoses up to my heater core. Okay, so now we got our hoses hooked up. Come get a shot of that. So the hoses are hooked up, they're all clamped, and so we got one outlet, one inlet. At this point, it doesn't matter which hose is the outlet, inlet, until we hook it back up. And the point is, you want to stir up stuff, so you want to have it backwards, the not right way, or if you will. But so we're gonna start this flush. Okay, so go stand where I was showing you. Okay, so with this, we're gonna start. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna turn on this valve here. We're gonna run water through it, and it's gonna come out, and we're gonna see what kind of stuff we get out of this heater core. So here we go. Oh yeah, that's nice and gross. So one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to turn up your pressure all the way. You just want a nice even stream. That's not even up all the way, but you just want to run that out till it's clean and then shut it off. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to unhook this. If I can. And we're going to hook it up to this one. And then this one, whoops. And then this one, hook up to here. So we're doing a reversal. So now let's see what kind of crap comes out now. Oh yeah. So this has never been cleaned out before. That is horrible and gross. So we're going to run it until it comes out clean. Okay, I'm going to shut it off. Next thing I'm going to do is do the same thing over about 3 times. So I'm going to just put this end into that hose, and I'm going to do about 3 or 4 cycles just to make sure it's all clean. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see because it's getting evening, but you can see a bunch of crap in there. There was actually a lot more. This whole bucket was full, but I just recycled it and just wanted to show you some of the debris that came out of it. There was, like I said, a lot more, and it was gross, really gross. So I'm going to continue. I actually did about 5 cycles. I'm going to do a couple more because, man, there's stuff still coming out. So we're going to do a couple more cycles. So as you can see how dirty this is even after, this is about 10 or so cycles. So we'll see what's at the bottom of that. It just keeps coming. So we'll just keep going. We're just going to keep doing cycles till I get all clean water. So here is about The 10th time I flushed it, reverse flushed it. So I had, those first 5 times I totally emptied this bucket. And so this is what came out of the other 5 cycles. So this is still coming. So again, I'm going to keep continuing until I get all clear water. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay, so finally after about 30 flushes, reverse flushes, and I'm not even kidding, I'm not exaggerating, I got pretty much a clean bucket. Man, it was just full of crap. So don't be like me and not flush your heater core, your radiator. I did, so I went to go fill my radiator this year, and it's the first time I ever had even looked in there. I've only owned this truck for 4 years. However, I didn't drive it for probably 3 of them. So went and looked in there, saw that they had mixed some orange antifreeze in there. So I am going to flush out my radiator right now because that stuff was nasty. Okay, so next we want to make sure that, sorry, I apologize the lighting, my battery's going low, but we want to hook up this funnel to one of these hose ends. So again, it's a 5/8 hose, so we're going to hook up the funnel, and then we're going to run some antifreeze in it, and we're going to run it until antifreeze goes through, goes into your heater core, fills up your heater core, and comes back out the hose. So we just want to make sure that there's no air in the lines and make sure we're good with that before we move on. So now what I'm going to do for the heater core is I'm going to hook this back up properly. So I have the hoses there. Again, I marked it. There is my gold mark right there. So I'm just going to line that up. It goes under this air filter nose right here. It goes under here, over here, and then it hooks to these two. But I don't want to hook these up just until I do my radiator flush. So I'm gonna do that. But basically, all you would do, run the hoses, take your hose clamps and cut them to the proper length, and then put them around here, and as you should be good. Get it up to temp and running just right. You want to make sure that you have no leaks coming out of your heater, out of your heater core, and then where you connected it back to your radiator. So just make sure that everything's kosher, no drips or anything. If so, adjust your hoses, adjust your clamps. You should be getting heat in your vehicle if your heater cord was plugged. First of all, heat would be coming in, so that's obviously a sign that, hey, it's working. The other way would be to take a temp gun, or if you don't have a temp gun, run it for a while. You don't want to get it too hot, of course, or let it cool down just slightly, but see if these hoses are the same temperature. They should be, if it's circulating properly through your heater core. So again, this is BryzGarage. I hope this video helps you. Again, if it doesn't help you flush your heater core, hopefully it helps you to remember to always flush your radiator often, use the right antifreeze, and all that good stuff. So give me a thumbs up. Any comments would be appreciated. Thanks for watching BryzGarage.